Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I am tired, but I am here and I'm willing to make it work. My name's Aqua 7729, Tristan, Dad's a lot of whatever you like to call me. I do gaming and I do gaming content and I talk to people on the internet. I'm a former cult member, a former Jehovah's Witness, so I try to make this a safe place for everybody, but I do talk about sensitive subjects such as politics, theology, religion, and philosophy. So, welcome in. Hello to everybody, and hello to you, Harper. How are we all doing today? Today we are playing not playing Project Zomboid, we're playing Slay the Spire, because I need something relatively chill. And I can kind of turn off my brain, but I'm not going to do well when I do that, but yeah. Hello, Harper. Starting off with a region run. Bundle of Joy and Big Bang. Interesting. Okay. Off we go. Great start. Hi, man, with the big cat. Where your cat at? Hope you're good. I'm doing okay. The cat's right there. At the windowsill right now. The cattle. Do I have to take 4 here? I might have to take 4 here. I had to really think about that turn. But yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm tired, but I'm doing okay. My stomach decided to kill me last night. Be gone. See, you're starting to a conversation about cum, man. I was almost a Mormon, so I can tell you stories. Anyway, just passing through Have a good stream. Fair enough. Thank you very much, Carol, for passing by. Yeah, Mormons, I would also classify as a cult. But maybe not as extreme. Oh, god damn it. Almost? Apparently, they almost became a Mormon, yes. Hello, fella. Gather light. Nah, man, they have like 20 kids and stuff. It depends on the area where you go, but yeah, they are interesting. I'm gonna take this royal gamble and assume that it'll be good. I don't know why I'm assuming it'll be good, but, you know. Here we are. Odin, what would you like? Refined blade. I'll take it. Ow. This is gonna hurt. Odin, what do you want? Eh? Do you still feel remorse as an atheist? What do you mean by remorse? As in, like, feel bad that certain things happen? Do you think atheists are incapable of remorse? Because that's a really weird thing to assume about atheists. Hi, Crooked, how we doing? But yeah, that's a really weird thing to assume about atheists, is that they are incapable of feeling remorse. Like, you just made it seem like we're all, like, psychopaths. How you doing, Crooked? Did a helpful thing at work and now I just want to go home. I did enough. How are you? I'm doing okay. I'm very tired right now. Isn't that the reason to become atheist? What? To not feel remorse? To not feel like bad about things happening? To be perfectly fine with being to become a psychopath? That is the biggest character assassination I've ever heard about a whole entire group of people. I have probably never been more insulted in my entire life. I'm doing great, Crooked. Except for, like, I guess this in particular instance where someone thinks that I'm an atheist for the simple fact that I want to do what I want to do. And not because I think, not because I have thinking or rational reasons for believing as such. Damn it. But yeah, I'm very tired. My stomach decided to rip. But yeah. Being an atheist, my desire, my state of being an atheist is because no argument for theism works. Right? It doesn't control my morals. My morals is independent of me being an atheist. For the most part. I mean, the problem of evil still exists, and the problem of evil is one of the reasons why I'm an atheist. But that's more of a logical problem rather than a necessary moral problem. Right? Nobody has a reasonable, rational answer to that question. But yeah. If you think that being an atheist will free you from feeling guilty over things, I have some really bad news for you. There are certain things that I do when I was a former Christian, that still affects me to this day. Like, oh, I did something. And I know that it's not wrong to do, but in my head, I've been so trained to do it that I believe that there's something wrong. There are some attempts to tackle it. Yeah, there's attempts to tackle it. Doesn't mean you can attempt to tackle it all day long. That doesn't mean that you've actually successfully done it. The only way you can successfully do that is by just foregoing it and having faith. That's not good. Capacitor? I just need more ore generation, I guess. Do you think there's something beyond atheism and theism, or is it either atheism or theism? I have no idea, would be the answer to that question. Uh, 50-50? Hell yeah. I would have zero clue. For example, aliens put us here, or is evolution really clear about that? I mean, not about it being more... that doesn't really have much to do with that. That doesn't answer where, like, the universe comes from, right? Like, we're pretty sure, like, we have a good understanding, but that still doesn't explain how the universe came to be. We're pretty sure, and evolution doesn't talk about how life began, right? That's a very common, sadly common misconception. The closest, our current theory for how life began here on Earth is called abiogenesis. I'm inhaling the air and I'm getting high on oxygen. Oh, hell yeah. I'm proud of you. I guess we're playing defense together. Niall's Fury is actually okay with defect, but, you know, it means putting another damage card. Restlessness. Meow sounds like a confused cat. I mean, you're not wrong. That is, in fact, what, that, it is. It's actually a whale. Meow. Yeah, I wouldn't even have won that bet. Oh, thank you for the 7th streak. Frightful. That's super cool of you. I'm not a communist. You good? Mind blast! I'm a Kenosaurus. The fact that God is intervening on the plan but isn't at the same time, does that upset people? I mean, okay. The fact that God is intervening on the planet but isn't at the same time, does that upset people? That is a logical, very logically inconsistent sentence. It does not follow. You were saying God is both doing something and not something at the same time. And then asking if that upsets people. The syntax of that question is not very good. Not believing in something isn't upsetting or emotional. God lacks evidence. That shrimple. I'd agree. How unlucky does one have to be? I do not have to test fate today. It's kind of insane that God shows himself several times in the Bible, but never again. Something along those lines. I may have been able to block more if I did that. Oh. I guess we're generating lightning. There's no good reason to believe in God, just like no good reason to believe I flap my arms and fly. People aren't emotional that I can't fly. I mean, God prevents suicide, for example, for some people, but for some people, he doesn't, I mean. Yeah. From the atheist point of view, God isn't preventing suicide. It's the imaginary idea of this person that is preventing suicide. And why is that God preventing suicide? Well, for Catholics, it's because God will send them to hell. Right? That's kind of insane, right? Imagine you being so downtrodden and being so, like, dealing with mental health. And I'm assuming mental health. Like, there are ways that people commit suicide that are entirely selfish, like, you know, trying to escape, like, let's say, repercussions for their crimes. But, like, imagine, but I'm talking more about mental health. Imagine if a person that's committed, that has, you know, mental health problems commits suicide, and then that person is sent to hell. So God had created a situation on earth, because he is all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-loving. He has created this situation here on earth that has made that person be so downtrodden that they took their own life. And then God says, yeah, I'm eternally punishing you now. Like, to me, that is one of the most unjust forms of deities. Like, you can't get more unjust than that. You know, hamsters don't believe in God. Why should I? I mean, I don't think we should probably be taking hamsters as our moral, as our, like, philosophical framework of understanding the universe, considering that hamsters have a notorious habit of just dying in the most insane ways. They know everything. I'm I'll have to disagree with you on that one. They reincarnate as ceiling fans. Have you ever seen a ceiling fan get built? Yes, I've built one. I have built them. Oh. Hamsters also eat their young sometimes, so I'm not going to use the hamsters as a moral compass. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that. You're a hamster manager? What do you mean? Makes sense. I put it in my brain as agnostic on those things. I trust even if it is illogical, morally speaking. What about hedgehogs? What about them? They've got 4 penises. Or 4 penis heads, specifically. What more do you want from them? What more do you want from them? Can they be a moral compass? Well, they do indeed have to go fast. So I don't know. Hamsters have to go fast. In my book, being gullible is getting scammed, but whatever. Would you consider Would you consider being convinced to believe something that is not true as being scammed? Said hamsters then, not hedgehogs. What do you want from me? I mean, theoretically, they can choose the definition of things, but in terms of certain debates, it just becomes, if you start choosing what you do and don't believe, then you just start getting into this epistemological mess where it just doesn't help you anywhere. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just like, I define it this way. Oh, I define it this way. And it's just like, at the end of the day, you get into such a point where, like, it literally just is wordplay, and so it doesn't fucking matter. I didn't get scammed when I realized that dogs don't, in fact, eat their own legs if they eat too much beef. What? Context, Heinkel! I need context! Scamming is scammed as losing money, for example, by idiots, but are actually scammers. A semantic black hole. Religious people love it because they can just be in denial by abusing semantics. Exactly. It's why, like, lately, I've been noticing people are like, you have to defend theism. You have to defend theism. You have to defend theism. And I'm sitting there like, do you understand what you are asking? Well, theism can't be lack of belief because of... And I'm just like, do you understand what you are asking? You are asking me to prove the null hypothesis. Oh, hello, Terrariel. Goodbye, Terrariel. I saw a dude try to disprove the atheism by saying prove God doesn't exist, and when someone says prove he does, the same dude said, I quote, it doesn't work that way. It's the exact same question, yeah. Like, it's just like, the idea with the null hypothesis is like, even if we logically throw the burden of proof on the atheist, they can literally just throw the question, the way to prove something doesn't exist is to show that every positive argument for it doesn't work. So then you have to ask, what are your positive arguments for it? And then they have to prove their positive arguments as being true, right? So even if they can save all the same amount of time for just. If you donate to church with the hope that a magical god will favor you for it, you are absolutely being scammed. Yeah. Like, for me, I don't have a necessary problem with religion in general. Like, religion and spirituality. Like, I'm a secular humanist. If you want to believe these things, absolutely. Most churches are honest. I have to disagree with you there. I absolutely have to disagree with you there, Special. But, absolutely have to disagree with you. For one, Special, do you think every version of Christianity is true? Here's a question for you. Do you think every version of Christianity is true? For one. Do you think that every possible church of Christianity teaches truth? Or, like, the truth? Maybe in America? Once again, I'll have to ask again, Special. Does every version of Christianity speak truth? Every church. Does every church speak the truth about God? Vegetarians are people who eat vegetables? Frightful. Your ability to pick up this nuance is incredible. Fat Kitty? Yes, there is an Odin. Why isn't Frightful, like, talking more? I need more of him in my life. What nuance? Just talking. You understand the complexities of life, I think, better than most. Well, it depends what you define as Christianity. I am asking you to define Christianity right now. I'm asking you to define Christianity. Right now. The only complex is how they get those goddamn cars and malls. How do they do it? Oh man, I think it'll forever be a mystery. The resident is in fact evil. Hell yeah. Technically. Dismantle, rampage. I'll take a blood wall. I learned how to read at the age of 173. Oof. A little bit of a late bloomer you are on that one, eh? So everyone who believes that Jesus rose from the dead and believes his word are Christians, unless they are lying. What the fuck does that even mean? Unless they are lying? So as soon as you lie once, you're not a Christian? Or are they lying that they believe that Jesus rose from the dead? Back in my day, we didn't have this religion nonsense. We could cool ass dinosaurs. She said churches are honest. I didn't say it! Yeah, second. Okay, so if they're okay, so anybody who believes that Jesus rose from the dead is a Christian. Okay. So, everybody who believes that Jesus rose from the dead and believes that what his words are true are Christians. Okay, that's a fine enough definition. The point I'm trying to make is that, do you think then that when two Christians share contradictory words and views of Jesus, they take his words and say Jesus meant this or Jesus meant this? Like, that is a true fact. Both you and I can agree that not every Christian views the same words the same way. Who is lying? How are you liking these puns? They're not so much puns as they are like... Grape skin tastes like a balloon is not a word I expected to hear today. Or a sentence I expected to hear today. Lying is intent only when it's not. Saying 2 + 2 is 6 is still a lie. This is 0 mana 10 damage, which generates 0 mana 10 damages. It doesn't matter, they believe most people disagree on things. Yeah, but what if they're like so fundamentally different? Right? You can have one type of Christian saying that Jesus is perfectly fine with, let's say, capitalism, like prosperity gospel, for instance. Prosperity gospel, and then you'll have another one that says Jesus was a socialist. That it was easier for a man to go through the eyes of a camel to go through the eyes of a needle than the man to enter the kingdom of God. Right? How can you tell? It's like, is one lying or are they both true? Aqua tasted grape skin. Frightful? What the fuck? I have no idea what you're talking about and it scares me. I just meant the right taste. Dominate. I had a dream Pope Leo asked me to buy Twitter Blue or I'd be eaten by a goblin on Judgment Day. I mean, Goblin D's nuts, I guess. Are not a cult, they are a religion. Yeah, but there is talk about them being classified as a cult. Hello, Flower. You can believe things that are false, special. Your belief in God is evidence of that. Frightful is being weirder than me when I'm high. Frightful's having the time of his life. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know you were streaming? Well, now you do. Hey guys, first Twitch chatter to make me cringe gets a prayer. No. How about no? Okay, this is... Do I want to take 10? Oh wait, I can take 10. Joe's Witnesses are definitely way closer to cult than a religion, yeah. That's why you can, like, talk about it, right? Like, that's why I talk about it, is to spread awareness of it. That is a good question. Prosperity Christians, if they love money more than Jesus, because Jesus said you can't serve the mammon and God, believes, because Satan thought Job was believing when things got tough. That doesn't answer the question. Who is lying? What if they both can genuinely believe these things? Special. So who is lying? Are they both true, or is one true? Skin, yes. I asked Google a Michael Jackson CD to buy, and Google AI kind of said, how about you CD's nuts? Oh, hell yeah. Is Odin dead? I haven't seen him move. No, he's sleeping. He is just sleeping. Hydrate and moist. I can do that. Like when Snoop Dogg died? Oh, I'll be far sadder than when Snoop Dogg. Moist. But yeah, Democratic Jumper. If you ever still want me to talk about at school, I can explain why I would consider them to be a cult. One is true, the other is incorrect. There's only one history. Who is lying doesn't matter for belief. Yeah, it does. It totally does. If one is incorrect, right, then one is teaching an untruth. What is the difference between an untruth and a lie? Is it just intent? Especially, is it just intent that makes it a lie? Why is God allowing these things to pop up? It looks like the cat is having a great time. Yes, he is. Some people think Christianity is an apocalyptic death cult that's waiting on his dead leader to return to bring about the end of the world. I mean, some versions of Christianity are literally that. Like, literally. Are you lying when you eat a corn and you say you ate a tomato, but you forgot it was a cranberry, but you eat an aardvark and your horse? Yes, you're lying. See how he says it out loud? He doesn't care if it's right or real, just blind belief. That's the definition of being lovable. You're never going to be. Atheism is a cult too. The first proof is they all call themselves atheist. Not all atheists call themselves atheist, right? In fact, I try to get atheists to get them to call themselves atheists, because a lot of people are afraid to call themselves atheists because of the stigma surrounding it. So, and once again, how do you define a cult? Because I can define a cult. I have a very specific criteria for cults. And it doesn't have to be religious. And atheism as a philosophy is not a cult. Same as how Christianity as a concept is not a cult necessarily. It's specific beliefs. Anyways, I'm taking this pommel strike. It's rats! Look at these rats. Aqua, I need help dealing with the high person. I don't know what to do. I am usually the high person. Just hang around with them. Do your thing. Anyways, we can take a quick buddy. Ooh, the merchant. Ooh, Dolly's mirror. Atheism is a belief. You can't deny a claim without believing it is not true. No, don't say that BS that it's a lack of belief. It is quite... ABC AI. And AI is trying to tell me what things are. But no, atheism is now, there is the philosophical part of it, and then there's the social movement part of it. But belief does not equate cult. So, like, let's just tackle your first thing, right? Like, before we go for the rest of your thing, let's just tackle your first claim. Atheism is a cult, right? based on how you say atheism is, right? A belief does not make the cultist. Ya moron. First, actually understand what cult means. Cult does not mean, hey, this person believes differently than me, therefore they are a cult. That's not how cults work. Next, we'll go into the idea that atheism is a belief. It doesn't have to be. Right? Remember, there's the social movement, because there are some people that just genuinely don't lack a belief. There are people that genuinely do, and the fact that theists sit there and say, oh, you have to believe something, you have to, is literally a quid pro quo fallacy. Right? You have to be like me, because I can't imagine a way you can't be like me. Next, atheism can be a belief, but usually nowadays we use the term anti-theism. So, what is your criteria for a cult? I can prove atheism is. The criteria for a cult, laid out by Stephen Hassan, who is a lead psychologist in the field about cults, and specifically making the term, uses the bite model to be able to accurately determine whether a certain group is a cult. Because once again, belief is not the cult. It's group mentality that makes a cult, right? The bite model stands for behavioral, information, thought, and emotional control, right? And so lots of organizations control certain aspects or influence certain aspects of these behaviors. However, cults take it a step further and punish you if you do not act within a certain core. Atheism is the biggest belief that exists. I mean, the Bible is big, but have you read all the papers on evolution? Atheism is not the biggest belief. The vast majority of the earth is atheist. It is very rare for a country to be predominantly atheist. And it is even rarer for those atheists to it is even rarer for those atheists to be materialists and not believe in anything supernatural. That is the data. And yes, believing in evolution isn't being an atheist either. You can literally be an atheist and choose not to be choose not to think that evolution is a proper model, which is incredibly dumb. Like, it's incredibly dumb, but I have met people that do that. I have met people that think that. I have met atheists that say that evolution isn't real, and that flat Earth is a thing. You are confusing the ability to understand science with atheism, and it's two very different things. You can be a good Christian and have a very good understanding of science. Anyways, Aqua, is it true that Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in blood transfusions, and they believe if you have one, you will turn into that person? No, they just take a very... Okay, yes, it is true that Jehovah's Witnesses don't partake in blood transfusions. That is true. But it's not because they believe that you will turn into that person. It is because of a specific scripture found in Acts that they try to follow. Corbical saying flat earth rules. No, no. You're still not allowed to get blood transfusions from people, Frightful. It's just you're now allowed to store your own blood to be used for a blood transfusion from your own blood. You still can't take a blood transfusion from someone else. That's the newest change on it. So is it a cult because only my dad is agreeing with me it's a cult? I will get back to that Democratic jumper and I will explain why it's a cult. Shadow User. Atheism doesn't have a frame of beliefs. It's not a religion. It's choosing not to partake in illogical thinking. Atheism is basically just common sense, not pretending to know answers you can't know. Evolution is a belief. You didn't do the damn science. When there is enough... Based on your logic, ABCAI, based on your logic, it is impossible to determine if someone did a crime because they hadn't done it themselves. Your logic is incredibly dumb. Your logic is so dumb that based on your logic, it is impossible to say that someone did a crime, regardless of the evidence for it, because you yourself had not done it. It's just a belief. Well done, ABCAI. Well done for bringing in the most one of the most ludicrous, so far the most ludicrous take to this day. And fun fact, I do have a course certificate in evolutionary biology. I didn't say you can weigh the strength of said belief. There's a difference between belief and evidence. You can choose not to ignore the evidence. It's not that I choose to believe that evolution is a thing or not. It is, that is the evidence that we as humanity have achieved. I have done the research on how the science was done and have seen how the peer review has affected these studies and came to the conclusion that this is our current understanding of how our world operates. Once again, I don't work off faith. That's so weird for Christians to understand, right? Belief, like for one, they try to say that everyone believes something, and then they want to equate that belief with faith, and say you're just as bad as us, which is funny because then faith is bad. Evolution is a prime example that this world is complex and can't be explained by a simple thing, or is it? It's an example. It's an example to show that, like, life is... It's more than just complex. Life is all connected, and that humans specifically were not created. That's why a lot of theists hate that evolution, is because it shows that life was not specifically created. Or, specifically humans were not created. Right? We evolved. You believe the evidence gives weight to the claim. That's your attempt to justify it. Still faith, justified, maybe? It's not faith. Right? It's not faith. Understanding and seeing how they did the experiments and showing the conclusions of all those experiments done over and over again. The theory of evolution, like, you picked the theory of evolution, is the worst example you could possibly use. Because the theory of evolution is a theory that we've been using for... It is one of the singular strongest theories that we know is a thing that happens. Right? It is basic fact. Like, the sun is plasma. Right? Does anybody gone to the sun and seen what this and done experiments on the sun to see what the fucking sun is made out of? No, because you can't get close. Your idea of how faith and how epistemological knowledge works is absolutely ludicrous. The sun is molten cheese. Very happy. Anyways, Democratic Jumper. I can actually use the map to explain the bite model. So, Democratic Jumper. Why are Jehovah's Witnesses a cult? Specifically because of this. Bite. The bite model, right? Stands for behavioral, information, thought, and emotional control. So a lot of organizations will influence a person, right? In one or more aspects of these, right? Like being a Christian may influence your behavior, right? Being a Democrat may influence your thoughts or your emotions, right? A lot of organizations will influence one or more of these things, right? But there is a difference between influencing something and controlling, right? So control is along the lines of control is like how you can manipulate people to act within your line and reasoning, right? So so control will include things like being able to punish people for not towing the line in one of these 4 categories, for emotionally manipulating people to believe in one of these things, or to control these things, and to have members of the group like tattle on each other. Tattletale culture is very big in cults, right? Oh, brother so and so did this, or sister so and so did this or this. So Jehovah's Witnesses follow these behaviors because they control behavior in a few different ways. We'll go in these in order. So they control behavior in a few different ways. So they've got door to door, right? Door to door, right? You're expected to go door to door, knock, preach. To do so, they emotionally manipulate you and say that if you don't go door to door, you are literally allowing people to die. If you don't go door to door and you don't convert people, you are having people die. Every second you're not out trying to convert people, you're allowing another person potentially to die. Another way they control behavior is like with something like sex and marriage, right? Sex and marriage, and sex and marriage, right? What you can or cannot do with someone, right? And they will have punishments, right? If you decide to ever, have a premarital fun time with your partner, there can be consequences such as being kicked out of the group. And if being kicked out of the group, frightful. Please let me work with this. This is impromptu. So being kicked out of the group comes with consequences, right? Consequences such as shunning, because I have the shunning protocol. Right? If you ever decide to leave, or if someone gets kicked out of the group, all members are instructed to not associate with that person. Right? At least not unnecessarily. So that's just behavior. Hello, user. That's just the behavior. To go into information, they want to control the source of information you get. They only want approved sources. Right? They want approved sources, aka just them. I mean, I saw a father just kicking out son just for that, to cut him off. Yes, I haven't talked to my father in 5 years because of this. So they just want appropriate sources, and the only appropriate sources is them, right? The only way to get information about their organization and beliefs is through them. To go outside and do critical thinking is bad. So with information control, critical thinking is demonized, right? We're talking about cults right now, user, and how Jehovah's Witnesses fit in the topic of cults. And I'm explaining the bite model. So, yeah, the cults will demonize critical thinking. All the time. Critical thinking is bad. I've heard it multiple times that critical thinking is bad. The next one is thought control. Thought control is interesting because it's like, it's pretty easy to find out if you're a cult, because this is like the big tattletale, right? Thought. If they're saying things like, if you think a certain way, you are doing bad and you need to, like, thinking a certain way is bad. Being able to logically think is bad. This is so dumb. I don't want ABCI to start talking in my chat. I just threw him out, Shadow. For now. I threw him out for 5 minutes because it's like, I can't you can't prove me, so I might be a Russian hacker and know your address, and then I can hurt you. So dumb. So edgy. Just get the fuck out. Threats abound here today. Anyways, so critical thinking. With thought control, it's very much about. Can you mute Jumper as well? That would be funny. But no, I can't mute Jumper. I'm explaining this because of Jumper. So thought control is. So thought control is like, if you think a certain way, it's bad. In Jehovah's Witnesses, I remember a specific example where the leader said that you shouldn't even think about who you wanted to win in a political event because that shows lack of faith in God. Right? What does the I stand for again? Information. And then the last one is emotional control. Emotional control is very common. You're going to see love bombing is very common with cults. Love bombing, which is the idea where if they see a new person, all members are I remember receiving this instruction to literally just like go up to them, be as nice as possible to them, to be able to try to get them to see the glory of God and all that. And then there's also the emotional manipulation where it's like, hey, if you ever leave us, it's your fault, right? You just want to do what you want. There's a lot of emotional manipulation that happens within Jehovah's Witnesses. They even put a cap on how much you should be mourning at a funeral, right? Like Jehovah's Witnesses put a cap on like how much you should, what is appropriate to mourn at a funeral. As if, like, oh, you can't mourn too much because that means you have lost faith in God. The big thing with cults that is outside this bite model is us versus them. Is creating a culture where you are making us against the world. That mourning thing is beyond fact. Yeah. I agree. Fighting Soulfish. I'll pick up a scroll. I pick up a Dominate. It's one strength. Old literature is wild. I agree. Just died, well, better not cry too much, or else Father Dan will tell God I was bad and not send me to heaven. Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in heaven. But yeah. I went to a JW church and all people surrounded us. I didn't think they had to. I thought they were just very honest. They quite literally tried to, it's not that they had to do it, it's just like they're compelled to do it. If you're not doing it, you're bad, is the idea. What do they believe in for the afterlife? So JWs are kind of weird in that regard, in the sense that they JWs are pretty weird. For most Christians, they only believe that 144,000 people go to heaven, but they believe that the rest of the people, God is going to bring His kingdom down to earth. And yeah, no, JWs actually don't believe you have an eternal soul, for one, which is also kind of weird, for Christians specifically. And then they believe that, you know, how Adam and Eve lived was God's original purpose for mankind. So God is going to try to institute the original purpose for mankind as He did previously. This fish is nearly dead. That fish should be dead. Conflagration. Or pyre. I can take a pyre. Exhaust my hand? No. Guess I'll take Pale's Wing. I thought it was Adam and Steve, not Adam and Eve. Fair. Fair. Reasonable. What is that? What is this angle? There's only 2 elites, though. With here, I can get... I want to see how I feel. I'd pay good money to see someone make a comment on Adam and Steve, the gay rewrite of the story of Adam and Eve. These Americans are trying to cis our kids. MAGA, make America gay again. I'm down. I support that. Hell yeah. They're putting chemicals that are turning... They're putting chemicals in the water that are turning the frickin' frogs gay! Oh, crap! It is that funny. They're putting chemicals in the water that are turning the frickin' frogs straight! Oh, crap! Oh, I love it. Furries are weird? Not really. Furries are fine. Furries are fine. It's like, they're not harming anybody. Like, yeah, they're different, but it's like, they're not harming anybody. The dang commandments add them 5 letters of the alphabet, but they are weird. Yeah, so? I'm weird. You're weird. Most people are weird. And they're just too afraid to admit it. I don't like them. Why do you not like them? We all a bit weird? Exactly. Everybody's weird. Because he has a cross on his head? Oh, but stone armor. Ooh, but a relic. Ooh, a relic. Ooh, strawberry. Yes. The bad weird, they act like dogs or cats and then do weird things. I know there are some good ones that just do it for fun, and some genuine act like animals and crap in litter boxes or outside. It's very weird. The people that do that are okay. For one, the furry demographic that is acting like animals is incredibly small. Furries are not trying to act like animals. They're trying to be anthropomorphized animals. They want to be humans that have animalistic traits. Very different thing, right? And very few people, like... Yeah, Therians are very different. Therians, that's a different thing. Furries is the big umbrella term. Therians are something else entirely. Have a good one, Shadow. Thank you for popping by. I appreciate that. What you described, yeah, that's a theory. It's people with the crappy masks? Sometimes. Where'd that come from? Why, Frightful? You curious? No, no one was talking about kinks. True, but you know. My table's running away. Oh no, I hope you catch it. A pear. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, bees. You are the last thing I want to see today. Bees! Bees! I tried so hard, got nowhere in the end. No! Bees! Ooh. Another dominate? I can take another dominate. I can also take a mangle. Can I take a mangle? I can take another dominate. And a stampede. Fireball! The fuck? I guess tentacles. You know what tentacles are. You know what they are, don't you, Squidward? Tickles! You know what they are. You know what they are, don't you, Squidward? Ow. What are you doing with Squidward? Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? William. My chaps. What is the most degenerate thing you can do? What do you mean by that? Special, what do you mean by that? Are you asking what is the most degenerate thing I do? Or like what I allow myself to do? What do you mean? Put money in the oven? I don't know. Porn? That's right. It was me, Barry. Weird question. I don't know where to take it at. What you do or you watch? I don't know. Sex. Thank you. Gay sex. Gay. I'm scared of this chat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Cascade. Juggernaut. Ah, sacrifice. Lantern. Oh, my lantern. Give me apotheosis. This feels like a little bit of anti-synergy, but this thing gave me like 1, 2, 3, 4 relics, so you know what? I'll take it. What year were you born? We already talked about this! What was life like with the dinosaurs? Feck you. He's as old as me. Oh! The dating app has given me... the dating app lady has decided to say hello to me. Yay! Hey! Is he handsome? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. How cute is he? I'm not gay, believe it or not. I keep forgetting you were straight. Uh-huh. Yo, what's his favorite color? Blue. Straight to dick. Whoa. Whoa. You ain't beating the allegations? Uh-huh. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. You can't spam stuff. I didn't say. I put like 4 periods. Yes, you cannot spam stuff. The silent he shifted the day was gone. Holy crap! Holy fact, that's is a card, and I am honestly hard. And it's calling me down just to take 1 second to deep and down. Bang. Make one down and say, we better run. I say run. Going back inside again. That guy got murdered. Expect a fight? Hell yeah. I guess I just have to take 36 here. This is 1 mana gain 4 strength. God damn it, you are the worst! Why is people saying come in my chat? Where do you find meaning in your belief? That is not to say that it doesn't have meaning. It absolutely does. I'm just wondering how you specifically feel about it. I find it useless to gain meaning through my belief. Right? Like, I like absurdism. Absurdism is like the meaning, the ability to try to find meaning is kind of a useless endeavor. Because life is already pretty meaningless. So it's like, you have to go about it in different ways. I find meaning in the very simple things. I am absurdist, but I'm also like very simple in the sense that I am okay with life being meaningless. Like, objectively meaningless. I choose to live the way I like to. One of the quote that I just heard today is just like, if you quit when all you've known is tragedy before you can experience nice things, that means that means your entire life has been tragedy. It's like, kind of like, I view it in such a way where it's like, it doesn't particularly matter. Yeah. Why? I have lost track of what happened to my Twitch chat. I've lost complete control. I'm going to take this armament. Whoa. Yeah, I know. Why the Relic Trader looks sus? Because he's from Resident Evil. May I ask what cult you were part of? I was a Jehovah's Witness for most of my life. I left approximately 5 years ago. I then proceeded to learn how to critically think, and that's why I left. My favorite quote on life is actually from Star Trek. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not failure. That is life. Yeah. Like, to me, there are certain, like, existential questions that people ask about, like, oh, how should life be? And I'm just like, I personally split my existentialism between two different functions, right? There's the existential and then there's the functional, right? And what I mean by that was, like, the existential is when you take, like, humanity out of the equation, right? And you try to think about it from, like, an omnipotent point of view and try to come to, like, objective conclusions, right? And that can be helpful for us to understand certain things, but at the same time, it doesn't let us fully... I feel like it fully, completely, like, removes what we are actually experiencing, right? And people get so caught up on the existential that they just forget that they can also just experience things. Like, that's right in front of them. It's kind of like getting lost in the forest with the trees. And then there's the functional, which is just from our experience, right? And there are certain questions, like, what is the meaning of life? When you ask it from an existential point of view, you're not really going to get an answer because you've removed the humanity from it. But if you ask from a functional point of view, well, my meaning of life is to experience as much as I like, because I like the experience of life. My experience is the reason why I continue. And the continued experience of it, good and bad. Okay, Crooked said something. I take no responsibility as I'm technically at work. It's okay. I swear I got to the Marian's table is going to make me a Geneva Convention event for my world. Oh? Okay, geeks? What? Do you have a favorite Bible book? The one that's the most interesting is probably... I don't know. The one that always kept me entertained with Chronicles. Where Jesus says this was truly our Bible. God, that was a big attack. Live, horny, having fun, one day banging my way to victory, and I love science. I have when will I have access to the stream VC? Probably never. For me, it's Haggai from the Old Testament and John's letters from the New Testament. Fair. I do not think, therefore I do not am. That's funny. Frightful joined the Discord? When did this happen? Oh my god, Frightful did join the Discord. The cycle of violence. I love that thing so much. My favorite is Book of Kings, Love Elijah. Oh. Okay, another Dominate, sure. Proverbs is funny because it goes against a lot of Christian theology. Fireball! Can't be fed by crows. Uh-huh. And we got Orichalcum. Alright, let us see how we do against everybody. We should do pretty well against this hoe, but, you know, she's a hoe. Have a good one, Fies. Fireball! No, you're supposed to hit this guy! Have you ever finished this game? I mean, by definition, it can't really have an end. This is gonna hurt. Have a good one, Democratic Jumper. Can I do 144 damage? No, I cannot. Be more bad for those demons. I mean, it, Anyways, we lost. That's a shame. That's a damn shame. Our Unga Bunga could not survive. We had 22 strength, but it felt like we did no damage at the end there. Anyways, I'll be right back. I need to go to the water.
Every night for 353 days. I heard.
I'm back. The power of cottage cheese. I can't agree. I do not like cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is fucking awful. Also, I find it funny that my chat just immediately shut down as soon as I took a little bit of a breathe, like as soon as I left. Oh no, bullet time. Oh god, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck. We are so dead. Never mind, we are so back. Look at that bullet time. Hell yeah. I hate cheese in general. How about feta cheese? Feta cheese is good, but in moderation. Tofu is also fine. Good draw order. Very good draw order. I love cheese. Cheese, Gromit. Cheese! I just eat artisanal cheese. I mean, I just don't like cottage cheese. Or cheesecake. A few different things. I am 1 damage off? Really? Okay. Cardinal Sin. I don't even... Yeah, I don't like cheesecake. I don't understand the appeal of cheesecake at all. How about pumpkin pie? How are pumpkin pie and cheesecake related to each other? Pumpkin pie is great. Bullet time. Both are cringe. That cheesecake is not. Pumpkin pie and cheesecake are not cringe. Odin seemed concerned about something outside, so I decided to investigate. There was absolutely nothing. Thank you, Odin. I appreciate your continued protection. Pumpkin pie is great. Pumpkin pie is great. Apple pie is the best, though. I will not be taking any blasphemy that goes contrary to that information. I love him, but... That was a strong elite Levite. We got a shovel. With the sauce and everything? Oh! Hi, tuning fork. Jimmy's mom. I'm a big fan of Jimmy's mom. Have you read C.S. Lewis, like Mere Christianity? No, I have not. Oh, sparkling rouge. Oh. Snakebite. I buy a snakebite. Do I buy an infinite blades? I buy an infinite blades. He likes forehead kisses? Oh yeah. Right now he is a carpet. Oh, fuck. The good and evil is an objective law? Because I was a... that is not true, because I was a Christian. I mean, what C.S. Lewis says, I don't think he is right. Doesn't change the fact that I don't think he's right. Okay, so I can Predator... I probably should Predator Deadly Poison. For that reason. This reason right here. Exactly for that reason. The door yesterday during a run? Very nice. Oh, man. Makes me think of, like, old Silence runs. I got to the integer limit with her once. With poison. By myself, just because, you know, serpent form is a thing. Unfortunately, I have to take a bunch of damage here. Ow. Ow. That was close. that was very close. That was uncomfortably close. Oh, we take this abrasive, I think, pretty sure. Although that murder would have been nice too. Upgrade 4 cards. Yeah, that feels pretty good considering that we don't really have an opportunity to upgrade because we are planning to because we're planning to get relics at every rest site. Well, I mean, that's subjective. God damn it. Why does Tunneler exist? Why does Tunneler exist? Jesus. Bad, unlucky hands. Backflip scoop. How was Monopoly the other night? Did you embrace capitalism? Oh yeah. I So it was me, Geeks, Becca. Why do people curse with Christian things? Is it to make Christians clear it is serious? That's because those curses were made by Christians. Curses were made by Christians. Anyways, so it was really funny. So it was me, Geeks, Becca, and Flower. And at the very start of the game, Flower was immediately gately because she lost her previous game of Monopoly to me. Geeks had never played, so he's taking the followers from Becca, and me and Becca were like throwing like shade at each other. Anyways, I was able to make a deal where I gave someone else a Monopoly, and then I was able to buy another property so that I could get a Monopoly. And then immediately threw hotels on my properties. Like, immediately, instantly. I'm just like, boom, hotel. And everybody's like, oh my god. Oh god, he's got hotels. And we didn't, because I had 0 properties. I had, like, nothing. I had no properties. And, I'm just like, this is difficult. But with that deal, I was able to get, you know, just that. I basically just had my monopoly, I had 2 railroads, and everybody else had the board. That was it. That was all I had. But I had money because I couldn't buy properties. So I was able to use it all on the on the hotels. And they went around the board like 4 times before they finally landed on me, because they never could quite gather enough money to like develop their monopolies. And then finally they started landing on me. Like literally they went around the board 4 times and then finally landed on me, and I got a massive paycheck. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, let's try to make some deals. And every single one of them were like, no, I'm not going to make deals with you. You're capitalist scum. Together, the workers will rise. They literally all teamed up against me, and they still lost. What color? I had the light blue. Do you have an answer for everything I ask? How many reasons do you have to not believe in Christianity? 10,000? I have an answer to what I know. I don't know everything, but this is just what I know. Oh, feck off. Anything but you. And that's the reason why communism fell. It was kind of funny. Yeah. And then they eventually just kept falling and falling and falling. And it was just like, it was just this circle death that they could have had it where it wouldn't take as long, but they purposely had the fight drag out for so much, like the game drag out for so fucking long. They just hang on just due to spite. Like, they could have taken risks with me because I offered deals. At one point, I offered like $5,000 for a single property. No, for like one monopoly. I like offered $5,000 for a single property. For a single monopoly, I should say. And I'm just sitting there like, my guys, please. Just take it. My money. I have so much money. I just can't spend it. Capitalism with big social nets is best because crime rate is lowest in those sites. Everyone goes to school. Are you sure? I ended the game with like $10,000. Something ridiculous. Low crime rates, Norway. Norway is not a purely capitalist society. People like to conflate that they're not a capitalist society. Norway is by definition not a fully capitalistic model. They use capitalism, but just because you have some capitalism does not mean that they are capitalist. They're democratic socialists, specifically in Norway. Oh no. This is bad. This is very bad. Democratic socialist then? Yeah. Which is different than... is going to be fun bullet time. We need to rebel and take over the world. Like every... To America, nothing is capital... I don't know what you were saying there, Special. Prepared. So the rivers could be filled with blood and candy. Ooh. Sounds like a good time. This is one hell of a bullet time. Off we go. I know, right? I'm a good leader. You are something. I cannot deny that you are something. I cannot deny. I don't like populism, though. I don't like populism, but I'd make a great leader. Wow. It's kind of ass. Like plutocracy? You want a plutocracy? That laugh is evil? Ooh, I am spooky. Spooky, scary skeleton. Oh, big stretch. Oh, that sucks. 2 rebels were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. Why do you think they were rebels? They weren't rebels, they were criminals. Jesus was hung as an average criminal. That was the point. You see that in Mark. Jesus was a criminal based on the Roman justice system. He wasn't hung with rebels, he was hung with a murderer and a thief. Overclock is a good card. here. I got betrayed. Claw? Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Claw Run. Okay, moving on. In Dutch, it says 2 murderers. In English, it is 2 thieves or 2 rebels. I believe the actual thing is, well, one was a murderer and one was a thief. Another overclock. Can we get a compact in here? Rocket Punch is awesome. Oh, thank you, Crooked. You were right on that. Man, this guy sucks. Cold Snap? Yeah. I sure hope I don't miss that 6 damage. I didn't have to switch into mod view on my phone, so it was super easy. Fair enough. If you were on your death mod, do you think it's still possible to be converted? It's possible to be converted whilst you're conscious. Whilst you still draw breath, I'm pretty sure it's possible. Scrape. Ninja Star is interesting. Hello, Burdonus. Goodbye, Burdonus. Smokestack is awesome. And a meal ticket. Do I trust myself to kill this thing fast? Not really. I need to rest. I mean, in one turn, we have completely removed his slippery. It's pretty impressive. That might be a problem. If we can get a compact, that'd be great. With compact, this goes pretty insane. Goodbye. Hyper beam, signal boost, or machine learning. Take a machine learning. Start each combat with an additional 4 energy. At this point, we're just looking for, if we can get a compact, we probably win. I almost killed him on turn 1. You should have done that. Should have done what? Hologram is a good card. Give me compact. Another scrape? I can take another scrape. Drop kicked him and killed him in 1? I don't think I had the ability to do that, honestly. Or convert them into Catholics. Boost away. I'll take a boost away. It's a 0 mana card, adds a thing to my deck. Can't really go wrong with it. No society has admired selfishness or cowardice in battle, but do you do that real right or wrong? I feel that's selfishness. Look at the American institutions. That prioritizes selfishness. Greed is good. There are plenty of societies that are perfectly fine with selfishness. Another upgraded hologram, sure. But do they admire it? Yes. Absolutely. There are plenty of Americans that are like, God, I wish I could be a millionaire. And have that power, right? Another claw. Can I find a compact, please? Oh, God! Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We may be cooked. Unless we do it this way. Hello, user. Well, we tried. What did I miss? Not much. I'm getting my ass kicked by bees. Bulk up? Adaptive strike? Boost away? I'll take a bulk up. You bastard. Compact! Oh, Nelly! Oh, Nelly! And a buffer plus? Hell yeah! You seem to take on information quite quickly. What school did you go to? High school. I don't really have a I do not have a post-secondary education. Besides a course in evolutionary biology. What kind of work do you do? I'm a landscaper. I'm back. I have served my thing for democracy. I am... well done. Oh! That is why! This is exactly why we went for that fucking compact. So strong. Buffer, reboot, or helix drill? Probably reboot. You missed the part where it talked about beating communists. Call them... as long as they call me daddy. What? Create an ethereal copy of the first attack you play each turn, which is like a claw. Just add a bunch more claws to my deck. Okay. Do it. Want a cabin in the mountains? That sounds nice. Okay, I trust that I don't die. Zaddy Axolotl? I wouldn't worry about it. That goes with a 3v1 Monopoly. I'll have you know, 3v1 Monopoly knows what it's talking about. Economic bukkake. Fucking Thailand! I hate everything about that statement. Fucking Thailand. I hate it. Sorry, it just came from my soul. Uh-huh. What's a bukkake? You'll learn when you're older. I Google your funeral. Don't Google. I did rule number 1: never Google words you don't know. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty decent rule. Why would people want that? Why do people want anything? I explained it really well. Iteration. Ooh, but turbo. Ooh. Things are getting spicy now. Enchant a thing that doesn't exhaust? Dark Shackles? Dark Shackles? Not exhausting is pretty powerful. Another smokestack? Sure. What is the axolotl man in your emojis? It's me. It's supposed to represent me. At least. Is it a persona? No, it's someone's characterization of what, like, I do. Just gonna leave you with this therapist numbers local bars. What? Easy money. Another overclock, sure. All right, another overclock. Oh, I gotta remove that. Take another overclock. Got that. What am I facing? Test subject and the door. Okay. Off we go. Oh, crap. Okay, well, I guess I have to fight one more of you. I don't need another boost away. Heart of Iron better than Liquid Thorns? Probably. Alright, let's do this. I am scared, but I am hard. Poor Komodo dragon. I would not. I don't feel sorry for this creature. Aqua, so logic is the reason you gave up on gods, because there's no good religion that is watertight. The Bible's full, which are logical miracles, have explanations. Miracle, and it's the fact that miracles don't have explanations. Other than, trust me, bro. They wouldn't be called miracles, precisely. Yes, Democratic Jumper. I'm a bit of a special one, aren't I? What is food? You don't need to know, small child. You don't need to know, small child. Miracles do have explanations. Yeah, their explanations are magic, which is not, like, evidence. It's magic. That's not evidence. It's, like, the exact opposite of evidence. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Is it a sex thing? Yes, it's a sex thing. Okay. Now we fight the door. What do you think about curses predicting the future? Is that scamming? Yes. Yes, it is. I don't think the guy who stole from Grave would say the same. How bad is it? Well, that's pretty subjective. If you see one miracle, does it outweigh everything else? No. Guy's hair went gray. It was fun to watch. Is it like pegging? Yes and no. Boom! What has God done to you that you hate him? I believe he's a fictional character. I hate him the same way I hate something like Nurgle from Warhammer 40k, or the Emperor from Warhammer 40k. Anyways, I won! Good run. I could, this was just an incredibly big combo deck, supported by the fact that I could draw infinitely, and... Who's Papa Nurgle? It's from Warhammer 40k. Like, I think they're kind of despicable creatures. But I don't believe God has done anything to me. I didn't hate God before I left. Like, at no point did I hate God in the sense that he was a real person. I either loved him or didn't believe he existed. I thought I loved him. Alright. I am tired. So I think we're going to have an early stream today. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night. I died. Scam! Corbuckle, how dare you? 2 hours to go? 2 hours to go for what? Old man? Bro. Why do I have, like, the younger half of Gen Z attacking me? What did I do? But then why one miracle doesn't outweigh anything? Because the ability to for my senses to see something impossible doesn't. I would rather say that something went wrong with my senses than to see something impossible happen. I'm more likely to say that, right? I'm not a millennial! Anyways, thank you all for joining the stream. For those of you on YouTube, the show is now over. But for those of you on Twitch, the show may not be over. Let's go find someone to raid. Bella! Bella's doing her thing. Let's go raid her. As always, thank you so much for watching the stream. I'm very much appreciative of everybody who supports me and watches me. I hope that you all have a fantastic evening, and I hope that you stay safe, sleep well, and do not let the bed bugs bite. And until next time, bye for now. Whoa. End of time, Aqua. Oh wait, nobody fucking gave me a thing to do.
Okay. I was like, I don't see it. Oh wait.